Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drive Fiesta. And we have a takeover with Chef Andrew. Hi, Jenny. You guys know Sarah?
No,
Sarah, Jenny,
hello, Sarah.
Andrew.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, so we're doing takeover of the Drive Fiesta call with Chef Andrew. We'll be cooking salad from watermelon and toasted feta with crab on
Yep.
top. And it sounded really interesting. It's very fitting for the community because we love watermelons here. And who knows, maybe that would be something that we'll be doing more. It's my first time cooking live. I cook at home, I was telling Sarah, but I never done it live in front of people. And I sort of feel almost kind of like before a show. Like, oh, it's exciting. How is it going to be? Things like that. And then Jenny here, she actually have a recipe for watermelon cake, which is going to be interesting also to try out if this works and people like it. And also she has this sushi watermelon, which blew my mind. So that's another thing I'd like to try also if it works. I'm gonna grab my phone and go to the kitchen and then keep this one going, I guess. I will not have the recipe with me on my phone because if you exit the live from the phone, then it just puts you out to check any other app. So, and plus, I'm really bad at following directions. If Andrew, you wanna, kind of spell out as
Yeah,
we go.
I'm gonna walk
I
everyone through.
Okay. I will log in from my phone and mute from here, so that way it doesn't create that echo thing.
Okay.
Oh, good to see everyone.
Hey, good to see you too. So, Ro, I learned
I love
something.
your hat
Yeah,
or your
your
little headband.
unicorn horn is great.
The little do you know, we're gonna be matching with. She's not here yet. Yeah, we talked about it. We're gonna be matching with. Oh, did I hit record? Yes, I did hit record. We're gonna be matching with Dana. We're cooking online with the tribe. We're gonna be cooking here.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Um, I know the camera is not towards you. You can. Hey, Ro, I got a kid who let her big sister do her makeup, so she wanted to show you. Oh yeah,
That's
cool.
amazing.
That's so nice. Thank you for showing me. Do you like my headband? You like Ro's headband? This is Ro up here. She's got a unicorn horn. You like it? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, me and Dana will be matching when she joins. We talked about it before. She was like, "Hey, do you wanna wear your unicorn band? I found it from my daughter." So I was like, "Heck yeah, let's do it." Okay. I'm just gonna mute myself for a second to do an explanation.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hello, welcome in.
Hey, David.
Is everyone cooking today?
I'm gonna try.
Excellent. I'm
Okay,
glad
I
some
was
people are
gonna
going to be
ask who
following
here is
along.
cooking. I know I'm gonna be cooking. I have all the stuff, and I actually bought an extra mint and parsley. I need to cut the thing because I eat so much mint and parsley that I ate my. Um, Actually, let me show you my little kitchen garden here. Yeah, and I didn't think it's gonna be
If
enough.
anyone's trying to jump into the call,
So this is my mint, and this is my parsley. But
We
as
were
you can
having
see,
some technical difficulties with sharing the same school link, so stay tuned and I will bring you in just a second.
hi, David.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi,
First time.
David.
Hey, Jenny. First time me seeing Jenny on a live. How's it
It's
going?
the first time. I love it.
I love it too.
So while we're getting ready, I'm gonna cook the top part of the herbs.
I love it. I got all my herbs ready too. I got some opal basil, some regular basil. This is just Italian basil. I have some Thai basil and some mint. Then I got parsley. So we're super urban it up today.
I love it. I love herbs. I put my herbs into everything, into omelets, into salads, into absolutely everything you can think of.
Yes.
That's why I run out of them and have to buy.
They make such a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just add so many levels of freshness to everything. It's just perfect. I'm very heavy on the herbs too. I like adding citrus zest just about as much as I like herbs because there's so much flavor in citrus zest as well.
Oh, I added some lime zest to my dressing that you recommended. So, and I think I'm going to zest some lime over the top of my salad when I'm done too.
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I forgot basil out of everything. I went to the store, but I have basil oil. So I actually added a toothpick swirl to my dressing and it turned out really good. So, but I got
Nice.
everything.
Excellent.
I think this parsley needs a little water. What do you think? Just got it yesterday and it's falling down. Woo!
If you drop it in some ice water for a minute or two, it'll freshen it right back up.
Oh, you know what? I will do. I've got ice. I'll grab some ice.
There you go.
For those who don't know, what are we cooking?
We are making a watermelon and crab salad with toasted feta.
Cool.
Yeah. And
How is it, Andrew, if I exclude the crab?
oh, just fine. Yeah, you don't have to use the crab because I know a lot of people are either allergic to seafood or just don't prefer it, and that's fine. Jenny has a solution to that, which she'll talk about at some point because she's an amazing cook as well.
Mm.
Um, and this does work with other proteins. Like this could easily work with grilled steak, chicken. If you like fish but not shellfish, this naturally lends itself to tuna, I would say. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
there's options. And then if you want vegetarian options, then Jenny can talk about that.
Or is there another swap for the feta cheese if we don't like feta?
Yes, you can do some shredded seasoned tofu. That works. Like that's a real easy kind of feta substitute is to just kind of mash it up with your hands and make it all very small and season it with salt or whatever you want and then oven roast it just to dry it out a little bit and make it more of that feta texture. Yeah.
Dana's here with a unicorn. So cute.
I told Ro that I found mine. It's actually not mine. It's my daughter's, but I'm borrowing it. So I need to come and represent.
We're matching. She's wearing pink also. And
Yes. Let's see your dress.
we're
Can you
matching.
see the ears? Can you see it? It looks blurry from my side. Or maybe that's just my vision.
It's 102 Schultz Street.
I will pin you for a sec. Pin to everyone.
I'm actually
There's
on a live
Zena
call
with a
right now, which
unicorn.
should be over at
Oh, you know
2.
what? I had those ears as well, but they fell off of one of my shows because I've been bugging them with my headphones. You know, when I DJ.
Oh, your unicorn horn is on point there.
We don't know where they call. All right. All right. As soon as Ro's back, we'll get started. She's icing her parsley at the moment. And there's a joke in there somewhere. There's definitely a dad joke in there. Just have to think about it for a minute.
I love your dad jokes this morning.
Oh, you like them?
Yeah, some of them are really funny, man.
I kind of got on a roll with the crab jokes. Yeah, for those of you who are not in my community, every Friday I do Dad Joke Friday where I just post some dad jokes because I like dad jokes. And I think that we could all go with a little more humor throughout the weekend, you know? And they're always good for a laugh. So I do that every Friday. And oftentimes what's funny to me is that we get more interaction with the dad jokes post than a lot of the other things that we do in the community. So I'm going to keep it going.
It's fun.
For
Your
sure.
jokes are fun. They're good.
Yeah, thank you. I do spend a lot of time, you know, curating because they're just funny on their own. They're not offensive or over the line in any way. So, yeah, they're just good, wholesome humor. You think we're ready to roll, Ro?
I've got what, and I've got the board, and I've got all the products here that just maybe bring us to the next steps. Who is
Sure.
cooking?
There's a few people that are doing it with us.
Honey is.
So, yay.
Okay, cool. Can you hear me all right?
Cool. What's that?
Okay. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just gonna
It's
turn
coming
the
through
volume
loud
up.
and clear.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
just I'm gonna go over the setup first.
Okay.
We might have some people that don't cook a lot and just want to see how to set yourself up for success. And then we'll go over the ingredients and then we'll jump right in, okay?
Can you pin
So,
Andrew?
in me.
Yes, I'll do my best. Let me click. Okay. I don't know why is it not pinning Andrew.
Hmm.
Let me pin Sarah.
I don't.
Sarah's pinning. Okay, and pin pin Andrew. Oh, why is Andrew not wanting to be pinned?
I'm very difficult.
Hey, can you get out and come back in? I'm sorry. I just can't
Okay.
pin you from the phone.
All right.
Maybe I'll go upstairs. If that doesn't work, I'll just go upstairs from the computer and pin him.
I was wondering if you have to do it from your laptop. You might also, if you go up there, turn your sound off of your laptop, because it's echoing still. There, you got it. Yay!
Um, is it echoing for you guys too? Is it
I
echoing
don't.
for
Not for
Yeah.
me.
what, Dana?
Yes, it is. We hear you
Okay,
twice.
I'm gonna go and do something on the computer.
Close that.
While we're waiting, what's your dad joke for this Friday? Do you have one? Putting you on the spot.
Oh, let's see if I can remember them. Why did the crab go broke? Because he had too many shell companies. And what do you call a crab that likes to throw things? A lobster. Like lob. And then I had a couple more. I don't remember. I'd have to go look them up again.
Is it echoing now?
Yeah, I think you fixed it.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, we're ready to roll. So, all right, here's my setup, y'all. Let's see that. So, most important thing, I have my board here. And under my board, I have a slightly damp towel, which keeps my board from moving around when I'm cutting on it. You always want to have a very secure surface. So that's number one. We're going to be doing a little bit of cutting and prepping today, so you want to have a sharp knife. And then we're going to be making a vinaigrette from scratch in a bowl. So you need to have a bowl for all of our salad prep to go in, and one for the vinaigrette. To make the vinaigrette, I'm going to be using a little whisk. You can use a fork if you like. If you don't have a whisk, it's okay. And then I'm into using tools to make life a lot easier and also to get things done faster. So I have a microplane, and we talked a little bit earlier about my love for citrus zest, and we're using lime in the dressing. I'm also going to be using some lime zest in the dressing, and this is a zester. It just takes off the very, very light bit of outside off of citrus, and it doesn't include any of the white bitter pith underneath. These little teeth are very kind of shallow. We can also use this to almost create a garlic puree, which blends nicely into our vinaigrette, which I'll show you that later.
Can you bring that closer? To see how. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Now there's all different types of these. There's different coarseness levels. So the larger teeth is going to be a coarser grate, and the finer teeth is going to be a very fine grate whenever you do this. So you can also do chocolate with this. You can do nutmeg with this. Although harder things like nutmeg over time have a tendency to push the teeth down because it's so firm. So just keep that in mind. Using softer products like garlic, onions, citrus is not really going to push the teeth down, so it'll last a very long time. And I love these. Yeah. So let's get into the recipe. If you don't know, we're making a watermelon and toasted feta salad with crab. Um, I learned how to do toasted feta many years ago, and I totally fell in love with it. So we're gonna get that started because that is gonna take probably the longest in all of this process. So I have my oven on 350. And this is also part of my setup. I have a sheet pan or a baking sheet with a silicone mat in it. And you don't have to use a silicone mat. You can use foil or parchment paper instead. I just like these because they're very easy to clean. It's totally oven safe. And so that's what I'm using. And I want to take my feta and just spread it out into one layer. And you'll probably use all of this. Like once you taste toasted feta for the first time, you're going to be like, wow, that's amazing. You can eat this for a snack. So we just want it in a single layer. And we want to keep it all together. Don't let any of these pieces like wander away from the herd because they'll cook too fast and burn. We want to kind of keep it all together. So once you have that, this goes in the oven just like this. And what we're going to be looking for is a golden brown color over the feta. Okay. And that's the toasted part. So I'm going to put this in the oven just like this. And then we're going to get into the other parts. I'm also trying to go live in my own community right now because apparently school doesn't like us to share the same link I thought it would work, but it's not working. So whatever. We're going. All right. Next thing, while our feta is toasting, we're going to make our dressing. So the components for the dressing are going to be limes and a little lime zest. We have some honey and some olive oil and some sea salt. Very simple, meaning not a lot of ingredients involved here. So, first thing, we already talked about zest. So I want to take just part of the zest of this lime. I'm not making a lot of vinaigrette. I'm just making a little bit. This will probably be, 5 or 6 servings in all. So I'm not needing the zest from this entire lime. I just want to add enough to give that beautiful citrusy pop. So you can see the lime zest and how it comes out. And I can tell you, it already smells delicious. So you can take your finger and run it on the backside and get the lime zest off of there and just add it to the
Hey,
bowl.
put something else in that cup before the zest, or is the zest the first one? I'm sorry, I probably missed it because I was putting the feta onto the foil into the oven. Like
Yeah,
just zest in that cup.
I haven't used this yet. It's just for the lime so far.
So, so you
You
just
didn't.
have lime in the bowl.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's okay. Just the lime zest so far. Now we want to get the juice out of these limes. And so what I'm doing is I'm just rolling it and pressing down because that starts to break the membranes inside. It makes it easier to juice. I just give it a couple rolls. It also will start to see how shiny that just got? And I have lime oil all over my hand now because I'm rolling it. These are super fresh. And if we could collect that, I would definitely add it to the vinaigrette for sure.
This
That
is good
also
skin. You can
smells really good.
on your
What's
skin.
that?
It's good for your skin. You can rub it on your cheeks and stuff. Yeah, from the oil.
There we go. I
Kitchen.
smell delicious. All right. So I have my rolled limes. I have my handy juicer. We'll just put the bowl right underneath.
I have that, but it's in a box since I moved. So what you can use for that is like a fork and twist it inside of the.
Yes, that's right. That is the other technique. If you don't have a juicer, it's okay. You can do it this way. What Ro's talking about is taking a fork and putting it in there, giving it a twist, and then you can see how much juice you can get out pretty easily. Or you can just do it by hand like I'm doing now. Just to keep
I
it
have this pretty
simple.
handy. Have you seen these? Also
Oh
a good
yeah,
budget. Yeah.
that's a good juicer.
Mm-hmm.
And then normally you can save this and drop it in some water and make some lime water if you want to do that, which I do. Jenny and I were talking about mason jar action, so I'm going to make a lime water for myself later. And we'll get a little bit more lime juice. That will make plenty of vinaigrette right there. All right, get rid of my juicer for now. Okay, so we have lime juice and lime zest. That's all we have going on right now. And what we need to add now is the garlic. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. I really like garlic. I have a pretty large garlic clove. I don't need all of this because it would really turn it into a garlic vinaigrette instead of a lime and honey vinaigrette. But I do want to grate a good amount to get nice garlic flavor in here. Do you see how it's just pureeing my garlic like that? It's turning it into a paste. And like I said, that will mix in very, very easily into this vinaigrette. We can just take the garlic paste and add it right in there like that. And once again, you can just use your finger to kind of gather all that and put that in there. One of the things I love about cooking is you actually get to get your hands in there and feel what everything feels like. And then if you're cooking for yourself, you can also lick your fingers. It's all good. If you don't have a zester and you need to make garlic paste like that, here's what you can do. So I have the other half of this large garlic clove. I'm just going to make some very thin slices into it like this to give myself a chunk, okay? Then I'm cutting perpendicularly to what I just did to make these very small garlic pieces like that. Doesn't really matter what the shape is because we're going to come back through and just chop, chop, chop like this, just to get everything pretty small. And then I want to very gently with my finger gather all the garlic like that into a little pile. And using my large size chef knife, I want to, with the flat side of the blade, I'm going to just press on it and pull it away so that the sharp part of my knife is dragging across the garlic like this. And then I'll use my knife to kind of gather it back into a pile like this. And again, I'm going to drag the knife through it a few more times. And what starts to happen is the pressure that you're putting on the knife starts to create a garlic paste.
I
Just like
have a
that.
question.
Ask away.
I have two. First of all, I don't know if my feta is ready or it's overdone. Look at the feta.
Let's see it. Do you
Let me.
have a light brown golden color on there? It's hard to see with your
Yeah,
small
hold on. I'm
window.
gonna put myself right now, just to. I think I might have burned it. How the fuck? It doesn't want to pin me now. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll pin you back. Wait.
Okay.
I think it's bigger here. Look at the feta. Can you see it?
No. Can you pull the pan out?
Yeah, it's out.
I see your oven right now. Okay. Yeah, you can use that. Pull it out.
Okay, so I probably overdid a little bit because on the corners it's black. Also, another question while you stop talking, how many garlic cloves? I have like 4 gloves here ready.
If you really like garlic and they're sort of a medium size, you can use 1.5 to 2. What I'd recommend is put one in. Let's make the whole dressing. And then if you want more garlic flavor after it's made and you taste it, you can always add more.
Okay, so one this or one this? Which one you
One
call?
the little, just the clove, just the
Oh,
individual, not the
okay.
whole head.
Oh, okay.
That's a different dressing
I
altogether.
love shit on garlic all the time, so I was like, maybe
Yeah.
it's still good. Okay.
Let me check on my feta and see where we're at.
Yeah, quick question about the feta. What temperature do you turn the oven to?
We're at 350.
350.
Yeah. So here's mine so far. And you can just now see with these smallest pieces, there's starting to be a little bit of golden brown color. There's no golden brown color here yet. So this is going back in the oven. It's getting soft and you can see the top of it is starting to crisp a little bit. That's all normal. We want that. But we want this golden brown color, like this little piece right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's just delicious flavor right there. That's what we want over most of this area. It's still okay if some of it is white, but we want a good amount of color on there. So back in the oven with the feta. All right. Now we're back to the dressing. We have garlic, lime juice, and lime zest. We're going to add our sea salt, which is just 1 pinch. I want to dissolve that really quickly. And then we need our honey goes in. So the recipe is only a tablespoon of honey, which is about that much. Again, I'm going to use my fork or whisk to dissolve my honey. And it'll continue to blend in as we start to add the olive oil to it. Question?
No question. I was just saying that I have to squeeze mine because it's kind of like hardened in the bottle.
Okay. So once you get it to that point, you can start adding your olive oil in slowly and making an emulsification, which just means the liquid, which is the lime juice, and the oil, the olive oil, come together as one cohesive kind of sauce. That's what we call emulsified. And the garlic helps to hold that emulsification together. And it won't stay emulsified for a very long time. If you let it sit out, it will break, which just means the oil will separate from the liquid, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. If you don't want that to happen, you can add half a teaspoon of mustard to it, and mustard will help hold those two liquids in suspension together. So typically when I'm making a vinaigrette, I want 2 to 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar, or 1 part acid. That could be lemon juice, vinegar. It could be a fruit juice like tart cherry juice or something like that. If I want a milder vinaigrette, then I will make it 3 to 4 parts oil per 1 part acid. Okay. I just like mine to be a little more stout tasting, which means it has a little bit less oil. So at this point, I'm going to taste it and see where we're at. So this is what it looks like so far. Just super clean and super fresh. And you can see the little bits of lime zest in there. That is good. I taste the tartness of the lime, and I taste a little bit of the sweet of the honey, and I'm tasting the olive oil. None of that is overpowering. It tastes pretty balanced. So I'm going to call that good. And it has just enough salt to really open up your taste buds so that you can taste everything. You can taste all the different flavors.
I love it.
So that's the dressing, just super fresh, super easy, right? Okay. And if there's no questions on the dressing, we're going to move on to the watermelon.
I want to add more garlic to mine.
Do it.
Yeah.
You can also make this in a blender, or if you have a hand blender, you can put like all your dressing parts in a tall container like this and just put your hand blender in there and blend it up. Done. Super fast. You don't even have to chop your garlic because the hand blender will do that for you. That'll give you another option. All
Mine,
right.
mine looks really different, Andrew. However, the taste is good.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't
Different.
look so
Different
creamy.
how?
It doesn't look as creamy. It looks more like watery, like it's darker.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know
That's
how else
okay.
to do it. It's not as light as yours. Yours looks a little bit lighter and creamier.
Are you using extra virgin olive oil?
Yes.
That's why.
Okay.
The olive oil itself is a darker color. I'm using plain olive oil, which comes from the second pressing, which has less color, a little less flavor, meaning it's just more of
Yeah.
like a neutral all-purpose type of olive oil. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with either one, but that's a good point to note is that
Yeah.
if you're using extra virgin olive oil, you're going to have that more robust flavor. You're going to have a deeper color. That's why mine looks a little bit lighter because my oil is more gold in color. So it's naturally going to be just lighter. So
Yeah, that's the answer. Mine is extroversion. It's different. Yeah.
nice. Okay. I'm going to do a quick feta check and see where we're at. Starting to get a little more color. Let's get into the salad. For the salad, the ingredients are going to be watermelon, cucumber, thinly sliced red onion, our toasted feta, an avocado, and then we have the 3 herbs, mint, basil, parsley, and optionally, we have a serrano pepper, jalapeno. If you want to make it a little bit spicy and a little bit interesting, you can add this. I'll show you a couple different ways we can prep a spicy pepper. And then the crab, and then sea salt, and that's it. That'll be all the components. So this is a locally grown organic English cucumber, and it's pretty small, and I'm only going to use half because I'm not making a whole bunch. So there's a couple different ways that we can prep this cucumber. And one of the easiest ways is just to cut it into thin rounds. So you can make very thin round slices like that. Nothing wrong with that. Easy to eat. So if this cucumber was any bigger, I would probably cut these in half just to make them easier to eat. If you have a larger size cucumber, you can always cut it in half and then continue to make thin slices so that you have these half moons like that. Also easy to eat. And they look pretty cool when you mix it all together. You could also additionally cut this in half again so that you have 2 long quarters like that and cut it into little cubes ish, like half moon cubes like that. And that's a little more hefty bite. It's easy to spear with a fork and it's not too big to fit into your mouth. So I kind of like that. If you feel like being a little more fancy with it, then you cut these what we call on the bias, which just means that on the angle, which creates this kind of shape, like little cucumber diamonds, right? It's the same thing, just a little more interesting. If you do it this way, it means you can charge a couple more dollars for your plates because the knife work is noticeable. So I'll show you the easiest way to do that one more time. We'll split this down the center. And then instead of cutting it straight on at a 90-degree angle like this, I'm going to take my knife and go at a 45-degree angle instead. And that creates those little diamond shapes like that. Cool? So we take our cucumber, put all that into our bowl. This is where we're going to be building our salad. So that's component number one. Then we have our red onion. And I haven't done anything to this yet. It's still got the peel on it and everything. I'm going to teach you a trick, a quick little chef's trick with red onion. So first I'm going to do what we call top and tail, which just means I'm trimming the root end, which was this. And notice I don't need to cut into it very far. I only need to take off enough to where it opens up this onion so where I can see it. And the same with the top. I try to get as thin as I can because I just want to see the eye. I don't need to cut way down here because then I'm wasting a bunch of onion. So what I would normally do is, now that you can see the root, I would cut this directly in half through the root so that each half is now held together by these root pieces. So if I were going to dice this onion or cut it into slices, I do this first. So now this root piece, you can see it, is holding all of these layers together. So I can cut this and it's not going to fall apart on me. And what I want to do is find the very outside layer that I can peel and take off all the onion paper. Sometimes it's 2 layers. You know, I don't like to waste food, but sometimes that's just how it goes. But this happens to just be 1. As soon as your onion is very shiny like this all over, you know that there's no more onion paper on there at all. So this is ready to go. I always go ahead and prep the whole thing so that I don't, that, you know, the next time I come back to this onion, it's already prepped for me. So I just find that same layer, take that off. Now here's a good example. I took off the first layer. Now it is shiny, but you see how the color in the middle is different than this? This is dark red, and then this is a lighter red. Now what that tells me is that this is still, there's still some onion paper right there. You can see it on the end. Nobody wants to eat that. That's not good eating. So we're going to take that whole layer off. Now we check the color. We're back to deep red all the way around. And that's a clean, totally ready to use onion. So from here, what I would normally do is just dice it up and use it that way. But I told you we're going to be doing a chef's trick. We want to have very thin slices of onion. So what I'm going to do is just cut this section off the side. This does not include any of the root, but this happens to be all I really want to use, okay? So I just have this round onion slab that's not very tall. And you can see the stripes in it are going this way. That's telling me the direction that I want to cut in. I'm just going to follow the natural lines in the onion. I want very thin slices. So I just lay this on the flat part and I cut it very, very thin. So that now all my pieces are the same length and the same shape, and they're very thin. You can see through them. Okay. This is also very easy to eat, and none of my pieces are very big. They just are very thin. If you're a fan of the onion, you can keep going. If you like lighter onion, you don't even need to use all of this. I happen to think that is a good amount, so we're going to stop with that. And I just right into the bowl. What we have is the cucumber and the onion done so far. Now, take a minute. Just make sure the board is clean. Make sure the knife is clean. Before we move on to the next step, quick feta check. Okay, we're good. Here's what our feta looks like. See how we have golden brown, golden brown. The little edge pieces right here are looking a little dark, so we'll probably take these off. A lot of times they don't get bitter, but if they do, you can take that off. But the rest of this is perfectly ready to go. So what I want to do is cool this down very quickly. So I'm going to take my silicone mat and just pull it off my hot pan and set this over here so it can cool down.
That feta is amazing.
Right? Isn't it delicious?
Oh my
And I'm
god.
going to take my silicone mat and throw it in the freezer for just a second. But yeah, the toasted feta really intensifies the flavor. It really concentrates that briny, salty feta-ness, and it's delicious. So I know you guys are going to love that.
Used in the freezer and not in the fridge, correct?
I put it in the freezer just because I want it to get cold quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we have avocado. I already took one wedge out of this for my breakfast, but I'm only going to be prepping half of it anyway for our purposes for this salad. So what I'm going to do is I take my avocado like so. I need to get a spoon. This part you can be very careful with, okay? Just be very careful because this knife is sharp. I don't want to press down hard. I just want to kind of let the weight of the knife fall into my avocado and drag it so that I'm just tracing the tip of the knife on the avocado skin. You see how I made 2 slices there? Now I come back here and I make several more. And I'm not trying to cut through the avocado skin. I'm only cutting through the avocado flesh. So that now when I take my spoon and run it right underneath here, I have this avocado already diced. Just like that. You can see where my knife was. I didn't cut through any of the skin, so my hand's perfectly safe, right? So we have the avocado, cucumber, onion so far. Now, we can talk about the watermelon. So here we go. A lot of people are feeling a little intimidated by a full-size watermelon. Don't worry. What we want to do is just take one of the ends and we want to cut a big slab off and cut it deep enough to where you can see the entire red interior. You can see on here, I didn't waste that much watermelon. If I really wanted to, I could get that out with a spoon, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. Now, we could do the same on this side. I can trim this side so that my watermelon can stand up on end. And then I will use my knife to peel this entire avocado. Sorry, I keep calling it an avocado, watermelon. And I'll show you how to do it with a half because I'm not going to cut this whole thing right now. But I was giving you just how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to take my knife and just cut it in half. Just cut straight down to the board and then turn it. Keep yourself safe, and you'll probably hear it popping and cracking. You can just help it along by popping it with your knife at the end. So there's our half we're going to work with. And this is what I was describing to you. If we are going to peel this, the reason that we opened up this whole eye is so that I can use my knife. I want to go right on the edge of it. You can see where that fits. And I'm going to follow the contours of this watermelon and cut it straight down. My aim and my goal is to not have very much watermelon in my cuts. Now the first one is going to be wide because we have to get it started. Just like with the top, I want to open up both sides so I can see the white on both sides. Okay, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to be turning this to the right and using this line as my guide as to where to cut. So you can see how my knife is now lined up with that line. Okay, another thing I don't want to do is make these cuts, I don't want them to get too wide this way because then I'm cutting into the watermelon flesh too much. I want to keep them skinnier this way so that I have minimal watermelon waste. And I turn it to the right and I look for this line again and I line it up on the top. I take that piece off and I just keep turning it and working my way around, trying to keep my slices relatively thin and not getting too wide. And I make sure that I get all the white pith off first before I move this around again. So that with each cut, I know my watermelon is totally clean of all rind. Keep turning it like that. And then this should be my last cut right here. Okay. So now I'm left with this beautiful heart of watermelon, which I can then cut into slabs or strips. And I want to be cutting them however wide I want my pieces to be. So they should all be about the same width. Okay. Then I want to take 2 or 3 and just lay them together so that I can come across the top. And this will be the depth cut. So how deep these pieces are going to be. Then I want to turn this whole thing 90 degrees. And I'm cutting now perpendicular to the cuts I just made. Now I have this beautiful diced watermelon all ready to go. That is a delicious watermelon. Okay, so this all goes in the bowl. And for this particular batch, I'm only going to do a little bit more. So I'll do this piece and I will put this away for the time being because I don't even need all that to do what I'm doing. I'll just take this and set it aside for now. So one more time, you get to see this process. Now this piece, since this was an end slab, this should already be the height that I wanted. So all I need to do is just run through that again and dice it up. Done. So if we just give this a quick little mix, you can already see all the colors we have going on in there. It's already really pretty. Beautiful salad. I'm going to take a second and just rinse this to get the watermelon juice off. Because what is coming next is the herbs. Herbs work better on dry surfaces. We don't want to add any extra water to our herbs at all. Okay, we're going to start with parsley because this is the one that is going to take the most work. When I talk about basil and mint, for example, I would put these in their own category, and I call these delicate herbs because the leaves are pretty delicate. And by that I mean, if we were to just make a stack of these leaves and just start chopping them on the board like we do with parsley, for example, they would oxidize and turn black pretty quickly and not be delicious. So there's a different way that we have to work with our delicate herbs when compared to our hardy herbs like parsley, rosemary, oregano, those types of things, which basically you can chop those until they look like fine pepper, and they're still going to be green. They're not going to oxidize very readily. So here's how to deal with hardier herbs like parsley. We're going to take advantage of the fact that this is already being held together in a bunch by a rubber band. I don't need extra stem like that. And what we're going to do is just roll this together. There will be some rogue ones on the end that you want to just tuck underneath. This is like rolling a cigar. I'm using my fingertips to kind of hold all this down. There's another rogue stem. And I want to utilize the fact that this is all being held together right now in a bunch. So I'm going to shave this as thinly as I can right now, because what I want when I'm done is I want most of my work to be finished. So it's all already very, very thin. Now there are going to be some pieces that were off the end of the bunch like this, which we can easily add to. If you want, you can kind of do the same thing and make a very tiny roll and then just slice these the same way. And what I want now is when I run my knife through these about 4 times, sorry, my plates are jangling underneath me. I want this parsley to be pretty fine. So I want to add the color and the flavor, but I don't want big pieces of parsley for anybody to bite into. So like that. So now we have pretty finely chopped parsley. And again, this is a hardy herb, so we could keep chopping if we wanted to, and it will still be nice and green, and it'll still taste very fresh. I'm going to take my, let's see, herbs. Okay. If we want to do it according to the recipe, we can take our herbs and mix them all together in a separate bowl. Just makes it a little bit more fancy. So fancy. All right, so that's hardy herbs, and hopefully no one has a question on that. What I'm going to do with my basil, I'm going to use all 3 types of basil that we have, because why not? It's my favorite herb. I have some Thai basil, I have some Italian Genovese basil, and I have this opal basil. That leaf feels a little rough. I'm not going to use it. This feels better. Okay, so my basils are here. We want to also add a little bit of mint. So I will pick off some beautiful mint leaves like that. All right. Now I mentioned these are delicate herbs. So instead of chopping them like we just did on the board, these are going to be sliced instead. And here's the difference. So I'll show you with this mint. I take all my leaves and I just put them in a little stack like this. Now, none of these are very wide. So when I slice across these just one time, none
I
of
have
these
a question.
strips, yes, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to show you this scissor. You see the scissor? And when I open it, it's for herbs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, wow.
do you see how it's like? Yeah. So,
Multiple
I've
blades.
noticed that when I chop some of the herbs, it mashes them together. Maybe because they are soft herbs. Maybe like basil is kind of like, I don't know. Do you know how to use it?
I've never used that before, but I will talk about that in relation to how to treat the herbs, and maybe it'll
Yeah.
make sense. I feel like that could be used easily for parsley, rosemary, things like that.
Yeah, it does
Oregano.
great for those. It's for
Yes,
herbs, but some do
right,
well and some don't.
right. And I would say it's probably the delicate herbs like basil that probably don't work very well in that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And here's the reason why. And I will use, let me use this basil leaf as a demonstration. Okay, the reason that delicate herbs need to be treated differently is this. And you have to have a really sharp knife. Okay, that's one, because you want the knife to slice through instead of pressing through. And the way I can demonstrate this is this. First, if we slice through with a sharp knife, I can make a slice in this basil, and if you look on the edge where I just cut it, there's no coloration at all. Okay, right next to it, if I use the back of the knife to kind of illustrate a dull knife, here's what happens. You can already see that it's mashed and it's starting to oxidize right there, right? Because I didn't cut through it, I really just kind of pushed through it and tore it. And if we let this sit out for a while, this is going to turn black because it wasn't sliced through. Mint is the same way. Now, if you look at these strips that I cut, you can tell that my knife is sharp because there's no black edges anywhere to be found. I would venture a guess that if we were to use rose herb scissors on mint, for example, by now some of these strips would be looking kind of black because it would mash through the edges of the mint rather than slicing through and not allowing it to oxidize. So I hope that makes sense to everybody.
It makes a
I'm
lot
gonna,
of sense. How do
yeah,
you differentiate soft herbs from, like, I mean, I know the effects of like what's happening with mint and basil,
uh-huh.
exactly what you described. But then how would I know for like other herbs that are like basil and mint, for example?
Well, there's really only 3 that you need to worry about, although there's some other ones that are less common, but cilantro, mint, and basil are the 3 main delicate herbs that oxidize. And the way to test this is, we can even use the same leaf. If you just take a leaf and just press it and then see what happens over the course of a couple of minutes. I mean, you can even see what's happening right where I pressed it with my finger. That is already getting dark, right? So that's the oxidation process. That'll tell you that if we just chop the shit out of this and just leave it in a bowl, it'll be black within 15 minutes easily. The other herbs, they just don't do that. They don't oxidize that way. It takes, a couple of days, really. So that's what makes the difference, is just how the leaves react when you chop them. And the best thing you can do is to have a sharp knife, which that's a whole other class, which we can do later if you guys want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Cool.
And how much
My pleasure.
basil do we need, really?
And what?
How much basil do we need? Because I got that much.
That's great. Yeah.
I don't have
You
basil. I
can,
have freeze-dried basil.
Okay.
Rather use it or not?
You may use it. The way that I use dried herbs in fresh preparations is I have a spice grinder where I put the dried herb in here and I grind it up into a powder.
Okay.
And I'll show you
yeah.
what that looks like real quick, because this morning I just did fig leaves. And this is what they look like after grinding.
Mm.
See that powder?
Yeah. I have these little coffee grinders that should probably work for that.
Yes, you can totally use that. And that's the way to use. And then dried herbs are more intense in flavor, so you need less. What you want to do is add a pinch, mix it in, taste it. And if you want more, then you add a pinch, mix it in. Just keep doing that until you get the level you want. Oh, let me pull our feta out.
do you want the basil to be fine, a fine cut, or like bigger pieces?
It doesn't have to be fine. I'll show you that next, actually. So we have our mint and our parsley done. And kind of like I was deciding with the mint, the width of the actual leaf is going to determine whether or not you slice them in half before you make your little slices. Okay, because I think maybe this leaf is a little too wide, so I want to cut it in half first to make it similar in size to these other two, right? So this leaf is not very wide, and obviously my Thai basil is not very wide either. So I'm going to keep these whole, and then I'll take all of this and make a stack. And I'm very gently going to, again, just cut strips. Like that. So I have this beautiful now basil mixture to add to my other herbs. Okay, so our herbs are done. I'm going to use the rest of this basil leaf too, because it's sitting on my board. All right, and then oh, one more thing. So I told you, if you want, this is an optional addition. You can add some pepper to it, which I think is interesting. And what I'm going to do is just slice it into very, very thin rings. So you can do it that way. So very, very thin, almost see-through. That way you can get a little bit of pepper bite, and it's not too much, because we just want it kind of in the background. If you're not comfortable with doing that, what you can do is come back to your microplane and grate some pepper like this to just mix into your watermelon if you want to do it that way. This is also a really cool method of adding peppers to any drinks that you might want to infuse, because it'll just take the flesh puree like that and you can easily mix it in to a drink if you want to do that. But we'll just take our few pieces of pepper like that and just mix those in. So now we have everything ready to go. Okay, so we can give this all a good little mix.
Sorry, can you repeat about the pepper?
Can I what?
About the pepper.
With the microplane?
Do you? What do you do with? What do you do with? And like I was trying to find it. I forgot to take it out of the fridge. And oh, you do it with the zest.
Yeah, you can just roll it on here too. I was saying you can do it this way. If you don't want to slice it by hand, you can just use the puree to kind of mix in, or you can grate a pepper if you're making an infused drink of some kind, or if you want to just eat that like I will.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, also delicious. All right, so the last piece is our crab.
Wait, did we put the feta in yet?
No, I'm going to use that as garnish at the end.
And also,
Right?
did you put the herbs in?
Not yet. I have those on the side too.
Okay,
Now,
because I cut the mint as well. I only cut the little bit of basil and parsley.
yeah, you can mix everything into here now if you want to. I was just doing a little presentation action. So yeah, I have my salad stuff here. I have my herbs here, and I have my feta here.
Gotcha.
So we're almost ready to build all of this. So here's a trick with crab that I really like. So this is crab claw meat. There's all different kinds you can get, lump, jumbo, and all that stuff. Usually they put the best pieces of the crab claw meat on top. There's usually 6 or 7 of those pieces. And those are going to be shell free. So you don't need to mess around with them too much. Just keep them on the one side. Now what we do want to do is get our fork and just take out however much crab you need. Like for my purposes, that'll be plenty. And then I want to go through here with my fingers and just make sure there's no cartilage or big pieces of shell. If you have a sous chef, this is a great job for them to do. And I'm just going to gently press down because you'll feel it if there's any cartilage or shell in there. And then when I'm sure this is clean, I will pull it to one side and I'll just kind of work through here. Make sure this is all good. Okay. All right, this is all clean. We call this a Monday pack. If you get through and there's not any shells or cartilage, that was obviously packed on a Monday. Everybody's back from the weekend. They're doing perfect in their crab packing. A Friday pack is one where you find a whole bunch of stuff in it, cartilage and shell pieces. So I will take a few of my herbs, just a few, just mix them into the crab, just to give it a little pop of color like that. And I could even take some of my sea salt and just give it a little extra. All right, so my crab is ready. And now, if there's no more questions, we will move right into the plate up. We are ready to plate. We have our big, beautiful, fancy white plate. What we want to do, put our watermelon salad right in the center. Keep everything right in the middle of the plate. Take some of our herbs. garnish our watermelon on top. Take some of our toasted feta. Now you'll notice when you toast feta, it clumps a little bit into pieces like this, and that's totally fine. I love that about it. So you want to leave these larger pieces like that. Just put your toasted feta around. Since we really like toasted feta, we're gonna add a little more. And then right on top, we're going to add our crab. Make sure we get all those nice little beautiful larger pieces of crab finger like this one right on top. That'll be the presentation piece. Okay, now we add our dressing. We'll put some over and we'll put some around to give the plate that nice glossy sheen. And if you want to finish it off with some fresh pepper, you may. I would call that done. That's a beautiful summer salad. Now, my plating is fancier than it needed to be. And by that I mean there's nothing wrong with putting everything in the bowl with the dressing, give it a toss, and then just put it on a plate. There's nothing wrong with that. I was just making it a little more fancy because I can't help myself. So cool. Is everybody?
This was fun.
Other people have plates that they made.
Yeah, it's fancy because you're a chef. You all like fancy schmancy all the time, and you're going
Yeah.
too fast for me. So I'm playing a catching up right now, trying to remember everything that you said. It's just like I don't know about anybody else here, but I feel rushed as fuck, like catching up 5 minutes before after you. You know?
Got you.
I put in the herbs into the whole mixture, so I think I'll just do the not fancy
Sure.
salad. Yeah.
All together. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so I have the plate here ready. I think I'm about 3-4 minutes behind you. Plate's ready, and then I just put the salad in it with the watermelon, cucumber zest, and onion. You know, the first part that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so put that in.
I'm eating mine. It's very good.
I bet it is. I was eating a little bit from everything while we were doing it. I started with the dressing since that was the first thing we did. Okay, so after the salad, I put the crab meat. Or is it the crab?
After the salad, if you want to dress it now, you can. And then you have the avocado in it, right?
In the salad I do have. Okay. I don't think it's enough avocado in it.
You can always add more.
Yeah.
But you can either dress it in the bowl or on the plate.
Okay, I'll do both.
There you go.
Yep. This dressing is so yummy.
It's a nice fresh one. Yep.
So I have the dressing on top of the salad. Now I do the crab.
Now you do the crab.
On top.
I guess we should have everybody post pictures too on the thread, right?
right? Why not? So I still have a bowl of herbs that's separate from the crab. Is that separate?
I put herbs mixed in with my crab, and you can also mix herbs in with the salad.
Yeah. I didn't put all the herbs in the crab, but I would
It's fine.
put. Yeah.
I still have some left over too.
Yeah. So the
Which
crab is
the crab is what?
the crab is in.
Oh, nice. Let's hold it up. Let's see it. Beautiful.
Now I need to do the feta, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Put the feta on top.
It's still in the freezer.
Let's
Okay,
see,
so
honey. There you go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Now we got to sit down and eat and have fun. Who else made it? Who else?
I made it. Mine turned out beautiful. I am so pleased.
Yay.
So it's
Lovely.
so yummy.
Beautiful.
Mm.
It's really cool that we can all share a meal together virtually.
Right?
The final
That's pretty
product.
neat. Yay.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Nicely
Thank
done.
you. I want to take pictures before I put it all in my mouth.
Right. I was just stopping. I'm like, I probably should get a picture of my plate, so I'll post it.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you
very
so
cool,
much for
everybody.
cooking with us today. That was so
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Not bad for a first community kitchen takeover. I think that was well done, everybody. Good
Thank you.
job.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you too.
And let's post pictures of our salads.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll
I'm gonna
post.
take one. I'll take one right after this.
Yeah, same. And then I'm gonna
Cool.
eat it.
Yes.
This
Cool.
was fun, Andrew, and really playful. Love it.
Awesome. I'm really glad to have you here.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Likewise.
All right. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.